What are some of the best feelings that you've experienced as a guitar player? Is it when you're playing a solo and then you go to bend a note and it's to the correct pitch? Or is it when you get a new set of strings and you get them on and you love the way that that feels? Or is it something else? In this video, I want to talk about 5 of the greatest feelings that I've experienced as a guitar player, and this by no means is a definitive list, so your mileage may vary, and also this is in no particular order, so I'm not ranking them like 1 to 5. So starting out with number 1, it is NGD, New Guitar Day, or New Gear Day. And I'm not talking about the ones where a product is available and then you just go ahead and order it and then it's at your house in a couple of days. No, I'm talking about the ones where you maybe see a prototype of it and then it gets released a couple of years later and then you get it a few months after its release, or maybe you get a custom shop guitar and it's not available for months or years. And then when you do get it, it's everything that you've wanted and more. That feeling is just so satisfying, and it's just like, wow, this was just well worth the wait. The second feeling is being in the zone. And the best way that I can describe this is when you're just really feeling the music and you're just playing everything effortlessly. Because there have been times where I've warmed up and I can play whatever I'm playing without problem whatsoever, but my heart's just not in it. And that's just, it doesn't feel right. But when your heart is in it and you're just going with the music and just really in the zone, that is such a great feeling to me. The third greatest feeling is when you finally learn a song or technique that you've been working on for a while and it feels like it's been ages and you finally got it, and it's just a sigh of relief and a weight just lifted off your shoulders once you finally unlocked it. And I'll give you a couple of examples here. So for one, I learned a song, Tech It by Kafune, and it was troubling to me for a while to learn. And then once I finally got it, it was just like nice. But that progression for me was a bit linear. So I felt like I was always improving. Whereas I'm learning another song, the intro to 6 by All That Remains. And that has been like a hill, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Sometimes you feel like you're progressing really well, and other times it feels like you're regressing and you're never going to learn it. But once you finally do unlock that song or that technique, it's just such a good feeling. The fourth greatest feeling is creating a new riff or song. And sometimes we get into loops where we're playing the same licks over and over and over again, and it's just like you're not really feeling guitar and it feels like there's just nothing new. So when you go ahead and create something new, it feels so satisfying and you're like, okay, cool, this is a new way that I can explore the guitar, whether it's piecing chords together in a different way or playing notes the exact opposite of how you usually would play them in a scale or something like that. And then especially when you're still working on the song or the riff and it's not quite finished and you're just fleshing it out, that to me is just such a satisfying feeling, because you're like, okay, this is nice, I'm exploring new territory and this is almost done, and it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just such a good feeling. And number 5 is obviously when your significant other tells you that they don't care how many guitars that you have and you can get as many as you want, right? No, I'm just kidding. That would probably be an honorable mention, but no, this one is when you actually create something and then you share it with other people and then it resonates with them. That to me is just such a satisfying feeling, because there have been times where I have riffs available and I'm just sitting on them, so I'm not sharing them with anybody. And sometimes I feel like sharing riffs and sometimes I don't. But the most satisfying has been when I didn't want to share something, but I did it anyways, and people were like, hey, I really like this, or hey, thank you for sharing this, it sounds really cool. And that to me is just such a satisfying feeling, because you're never going to know until you share it. And sometimes you're really proud of something and then you share it and maybe it doesn't get a good response. And hey, that's okay. But I know we like to be proud of what we create. And the perfect world would be you create something and then people really like it and then you actually are proud of what you created. But to me, I would rather create something and other people enjoy it, maybe at the cost of me not being so proud of it. So that's just my personal opinion, but that would be the 5th greatest feeling, is when you create something and then you share it with others and it resonates with them. So these have been 5 of the greatest feelings I've experienced as a guitar player. But again, I want to hear from you. What are some of the great feelings that you've experienced? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, stay cool like a cloud and have a great day.